is the Louie Tee Network.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome to lockdown coverage, week number 5 in the National Football League. Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Detroit Lions. Lions, losers of 3 straight, looking to get off the schneid. This was a big one for Jim Caldwell. You know, you start to see the wheels turning in motion and things not going your way. You almost got fired last year. 4 in a row, not very good. So this was a big one. Meanwhile, Eagles, I hate early season buys. And to me, this epitomizes why. Eagles were playing with such good momentum. They were 3-0. Damn it, they were playing some good football. And just like that, it's a bye. You don't have to play next week. And they come off the bye, and this is what happens. We'll talk about this game, though, in a second. First and foremost, welcome to the Louie Tee Network. If this is your first time here, welcome! And subscribe to the Louie Tee Network for more great content in 2016 and beyond. I'm also on Twitter. @InTheLabRoom is the Twitter handle. Go ahead and follow me, and make sure that if you're watching this, either on the YouTube live chat discussion, or if you're on Twitter while you're watching me live, use the hashtag LouieTLive to be a part of this show. I'll read your comment at the end, and we can go back and forth and converse at the very end if you comment using the hashtag, whether it's on Twitter or in the YouTube live chat discussion, hashtag LouieTLive. Also on Facebook, In the Lab Room is the Facebook page. Go ahead, like the page, thumbs up. That being said, let's jump into this breakdown, man. Likes, dislikes, banana in the tailpipe. I always like to start with the likes in the first half with the road team, that being the Philadelphia Eagles in this game. So let's jump into the likes for this Eagles team in the first half of this game. Darren Sproles, Mighty Mike. Sometimes I think they forget about him in this offense. And it's games like this that remind you that, man, this guy is still a dangerous weapon. And I didn't think he was used as often as I think they would have liked to early in the season. And I think that was apparent because that first possession the Eagles had the football, Darren Sproles was featured. He was running in between the tackles. He was running outside. They threw him the football. He was the guy, and really to me, throughout this game, he was that guy that continued to be the difference maker offensively out of the backfield. And Darren Sproles is such a weapon, whether he's on offense, whether he's on defense, on special teams, catching it out of the backfield, actually running the football. Darren Sproles is a weapon. The field goal right before the half, Eagles were reeling in this game. They were once down 14-0. They were once down 21-7, and it looked like that was going to be the score at the half. They're able to squeeze a field goal out of the end of the first half, cut the deficit to 21-10. They get the football first in the second half, and Wentz takes them right down the field and scores again. So you're talking about 10 points from the end of the first half into the second half, which cut that lead down from 21-7 to 21-10, 21-17. So that field goal before the half, especially when you get the football first to start the second half, it's huge. And any points to me, I don't give a damn whether you get it first to start the second half or not. Points before the half are huge to me. They're momentum builders. They change the game. They change how you feel going into the halftime locker room. Just changes the morale of a game depending on if you're up or down. If you're up and you score a field goal, you feel even better about yourself, and you feel like we can put these guys away. If you're down, you're like, okay, we can do this. We can come back. We get the football back. Let's do some damage in the second half. And so I thought that was a big field goal for the Eagles going into the halftime break. Let's get to the Detroit Lions first half likes. Offensive start, man. Their offensive start in this game was outstanding. First 3 possessions of the game, all 3 resulting in touchdowns. The first 2 were really impressive. 14 points in the first quarter. When you're losers of 3 straight, that's the kind of start you need to get off to. When you're playing an undefeated team that's been lights out this season, that's the kind of start you need to get off to. And that's the part that really frustrates me with the Detroit Lions. That's probably what frustrates most fans. This is a team that can score points when they're on, when they're efficient, when they're doing the right things. They can be as dangerous as any team in the league offensively. Problem is, you don't get that type of consistency from this Detroit Lions team. And you saw it in this very game. 21 points in the first half, 14 of which came in the first quarter. No points in the second half until the final drive of the game, which was aided by a big turnover. So that's the problem with this Lions team, is consistency. Being able to replicate. Repetitive action is what you need from this Lions team in a good way. Continue to be consistent, and that's something that has eluded them this season. But the offensive start was just what the doctor ordered for a struggling Lions team, and that start was one of the huge reasons why they were able to win this football game. Concerted effort to get Golden Tate going early. I talked about this all season long. Week 1, I talked about it. Week 2, I talked about it even more. Week 3, I was harping on it. Last week, I called the man Ghostin Tate because he was a ghost. He was missing. They figured it out. We got to get Golden Tate. And it's not rocket science, okay? It's not something that should have to be some kind of big mystery as to why the Lions are struggling offensively. One of your best players on offense isn't touching the football enough. And again, I told you I couldn't pinpoint why. Doesn't matter why. It doesn't matter why he's not touching the football. He needs to touch the football. I know that much. And they figured it out. Damn, Golden Tate needs to touch it, and he needs to touch it early. And I told you, I don't care how he touches it. Out of the backfield, bubble screen, hitch, slant. Who gives a damn? Just get him the football. So they said, okay, we're having a tough time throwing it to him. How about we just line him up in the backfield? Ding, ding, ding. Just do it. Just get him the ball. They did that. And don't you see how much easier the offense moved when Golden Tate was involved? It's not rocket science. I don't understand why it took this long. It was simple. They just put him in the backfield. You couldn't have done that in week 2. You couldn't have done that in week 3. To get this man going, you see how much more energy he played with, how much more life he had when he was touching the football? Come on, guys. Took you 5 weeks to figure this thing out. This puzzle was not hard to put together. This was one of those little kid puzzles with 20 pieces. Easy to just dump it on the floor and put it together in less than a minute. Took you 5 weeks like it was a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. Gosh. Good to see them figure it out, though. Better late than never. Theo Riddick and Anquan Bolden are the next 2 likes on my list. Look, you know how I feel about Theo Riddick, man. I don't have to tell you. I talk about this guy almost every week. Love me some Theo Riddick. He was a huge catalyst for the victory in this ball game. So was Anquan Bolden, especially in the first half of this game. Missed the 3rd down for them, especially on that first drive. Huge catch after huge catch early in the ball game. Anquan Bolden is the toughness that they lack over the middle of the field. Love Marvin Jones, but he's not a big guy. Love Golden Tate. He's tough, but he's a guy that will drop the football. Anquan Bolden is neither. He's big, he's physical, he's tough, and he catches the football in traffic. And that's why Stafford can force it to him over the middle of the field where there are defenders. If he gets it to him accurately enough, Anquan Bolden will come down with the football. And he did that in this game. Love the addition of Anquan Bolden to this receiving core. I think he gives them and completes them as a receiving core. I think he just does so many things for them as that slot guy on 3rd downs. Gutsy 4th down call. Look, God damn it, you're 1-3. All right. Damn all of the conservativeness. Damn all of the, let's punt and let my defense play. You are 1-3. 4th and 1 from about the 47-yard line. Go for it. Your own 47 at that. Go for it. I wish other teams, other coaches had that mindset. Marvin Lewis. This ain't no time for bitch ball, man. You're 1-3. You want to get fired? Punt the football. You want to win? Go for it. If you don't get it, guess what? You probably won't go win the game anyway. You know my mantra. You know my motto. If you can't get one goddamn yard, you aren't supposed to win the game anyway. 4th and 1. Man up. You're 1-3. You got nothing to lose. Roll the dice. Hope it comes up nice. They did. It did come up nice. They ended up scoring some points on that possession. That's big boy football. Pull your britches up. Get tough. First half dislikes. Early defense for the Eagles, man. My goodness. Gosh. For a team that was dominant defensively before the bye, what the hell, man? Came out of the gate and couldn't get a stop. And there were a number of ills really affecting this Eagles team defensively. You had penalties. Some penalties that extended drives in the first half. Guys just running amok, doing things that they hadn't been doing all season long. The screens that the Lions were running were giving the Eagles fits, being over-aggressive on screens, which allowed guys to pick up huge chunks of yardage after catching the football. The run defense, what the hell? Lions were having success with Theo Riddick and Golden Tate running the football. Even Zach Zenner got in there and said, the Z-Man got in there and got a couple touches and was doing some work. In third downs, I thought hurt them in the first half of this game, whether it be a penalty that got the Lions the first down. Matthew Stafford on a 3rd and 11 using his legs to pick up a first down. Anquan Bolden hurting you on third. They were killing the Eagles on third downs. Eagles were doing their job to put them in third and long situations. They just didn't do their job to get off the field in those situations. Even the 4th and 1 conversion, that was a 3rd and long that Theo Riddick caught underneath, broke a tackle, ran through another one, and got down inside 1 yard line, 1 yard on 4th down. So to set up a 4th and 1, the Eagles just struggled on third downs early in this game. The penalties. It's my next dislike. 8 of them in the first half. You can't win like that. Not on the road. I don't care who you're playing. And yeah, you may be able to get away with that. You're playing the Browns, the 49ers. You might be able to get away with it against one of those teams. Maybe the Dolphins. Come on, man. Don't disrespect the Lions in their crib, though. 8 penalties in the first half? You should expect to get 21 put on your skull in the first half. You want to have 8 penalties. Come on now. Got to be better than that. First half dislikes for the Lions. Allowing a field goal at the end of the half. I thought they played as well as you could expect them to play at home versus this Eagles football team in the first half. Offensively, 3 possessions, 3 scores. Defensively, you hold them to 7 points, and then you give up the field goal right before the half. That, to me, changed the ball game because, like I said, they get the field goal before the half. They turn around, get the football first to start the second half. They get a touchdown, and Carson Wentz all of a sudden is red hot. Last 2 possessions, like 10 of 11 for 120 some odd yards and a touchdown and a field goal right before the half. And now it's 21-17, and the Eagles are right back in this game. So giving up those points before the half to me was a huge letdown for a Lions team that had played outstanding football in that first half. Let's get to the second half. I'd like to go back to the Eagles. To me, the Eagles offensively and defensively dominated this football game in the second half. And if not for a careless mistake late in the ball game that we'll talk about a little bit later on, they probably win this game on the road. You come back down 21-7. You score right before the half to make it 21-10. You come out to get a touchdown to make it 21-17. And you dominated this game defensively. The Lions did not score a single point until their final possession and the go-ahead score in the game, which was aided by a big turnover late. The defense clamped down on the Detroit Lions. And the offense did what they had to do. It wasn't pretty at all times, but it was effective enough to give them a 23-21 lead late in this ball game with a chance to put it away. I thought the Eagles did what they needed to do. Carson Wentz continues to play like a veteran quarterback in this league, despite making the big interception to clinch the game for the Lions at the end, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on as well. He was outstanding yet again. He continues to use his legs. He continues to make good decisions. He continues to be accurate with the football. I love the game plan that they continue to put together week in, week out. keep giving credit to the coaching staff of the Eagles for the game plan that they come in. They are so well prepared offensively each and every single week. The plays, I'll give you another example, the red zone play where they stack the two receivers on top of each other and run a slant. And the Lions, and maybe they saw it on tape, maybe they didn't. If they did and they ran this specifically for the Lions, that's genius. If not, still a beautiful play call in the red zone to stack two receivers on each other, have the outside guy run a slant. The Lions jack it all up. They're playing right next to each other instead of stacking it. One guy's supposed to be up on the line of scrimmage. The other one's supposed to be behind, and they're supposed to communicate. If this guy goes inside, you take him. If he goes outside, I got him. They didn't do any of that. They ran into each other. The slant's wide open. Touchdown in the red zone. That is beautiful execution. That is how you draw it up. This Eagles coaching staff has been dynamite this season. I've been drooling all over them with the way that they've been calling these games offensively. And Carson Wentz looks great because of how well they've schemed it up early in this season. And I thought both the offense and this defense looked great in the second half of this ballgame. Lions, second half likes. Holding the Eagles to a field goal after the Matthew Stafford fumble. Look, sudden change of possession. Lions give it up early, and you're thinking, oh, hell. I know if you're a Lions fan, I know what I was thinking. I'm not a Lions fan, but I know I was thinking, oh, hell, here we go. Here go the Lions self-destructing, trying to give this game away. Stafford puts it on the carpet. Nobody touched him. Just trying to escape. Gets the old greasy hands. Ball comes out. Eagles recover. Here we go. Eagles looking to take the lead right now. They're going for the jugular right now. They had already scored coming out of the halftime break to cut it to 21-17. Here's an opportunity to get another touchdown. They're red hot offensively right now. They're going to take the lead 24-21 and never look back. And the defense came in, stood up strong. They got the football at the 16, did the Eagles. The 16 of the Lions, okay? In the red zone already. And they came in and they forced a field goal to preserve the lead. That's big boy football. Darius Slay, my goodness, this is why you pay these guys all those bucks. And at the end of the game, I thought Chris Spielman said something that was profound. He said, that's why you pay those cornerbacks out there. Talking to you, Carolina, that's essentially what he said. That's why you pay those corners, because the game is now played outside in. You remember for years, it was the game is played inside out, in the trenches, and then it spans all the way out to the guys on the outside. Now it's a passing league. You know this. I know this. I don't understand why some of these general managers don't understand this. You got a top flight corner. They're not easy to find. You don't pick top flight corners off of trees. You have one, you keep that one. You get a pass rusher, you keep that guy. Certain positions, you just don't let them walk. Corner is one of them. The Lions locked up Darius Slay because he makes plays like these, forces the fumble late in the ball game that gave the Lions a chance to get a game-winning go-ahead field goal, which they did. And he also got the game-clinching interception on the very next defensive snap that they saw Wentz trying to take a shot down the field. Darius Slay, step for step with the receiver down the field, takes the football like a receiver, catches it, puts this game on ice. A much-needed victory for the Detroit Lions. Darius Slay, a huge part of this win in the second half with his play. Big play Slay. That's why they call him that, and that's what he made at the end of this game. You go to the dislikes for both teams in the second half. We go back to the Eagles. Ryan Matthews fumble. Look, man, I told you this day one when you got Ryan Matthews. I said, look, Ryan Matthews is a talented running back. Ryan Matthews has a problem. It's a fumbling problem. He's went to AA for it. There's nothing he can do. He is a fumbler, okay? You're going to get these every now and again. He's been pretty good since coming to Philadelphia, I must admit. But in San Diego, this guy was coughing him up left and right. And even some last year, he would fumble. There's your prime example of the worst time possible to fumble, and Ryan Matthews having a problem holding on to the rock. Big play, because if he doesn't fumble that football, the Eagles are going to win this game. I have no confidence, zero confidence in the Lions' ability to get into field goal range and win this game if they just punt the football from midfield, which is essentially where they were. You're going to pin them inside their own 10, most likely, and definitely inside their own 20, and then they have to go the length of the field with no timeouts. And they hadn't done anything in the second half. No points in the second half. I'm not buying that the Lions just all of a sudden wake up at the end of the game and get enough first downs with time not on their side to get into field goal range for Matt Prater, who isn't automatic, to bang home a field goal and win this game from the Eagles. I'm not buying it. That was a huge play. Ryan Matthews coughing the football up. Allowing the field goal to take the lead. Now, I'm putting this on the defense. Okay, so yeah, Ryan Matthews fumbles. All right, I get it. I understand. That sucks. I know. But they got they recovered the football right around the 47, 46-yard line. Okay? You still had a chance, albeit a small one, to force them out of field goal range. And at worst, make them kick a long one. Matt Prater, like I just said, not automatic. If you make this a 53-yard field goal attempt, you don't give up a first down, but you give up 8 yards. Let's say the drive starts at the 46. You give up 8 yards. That's a 56-yard field goal. They're going to have to kick it. They're down 2. Can't go for it on 4th down. Got to kick the field goal. You give up 1 first down. Then another 5 yards. And all of a sudden, they're at the 31. That's a 49-yard field goal. Still got to kick it. Matt Prater not automatic. But you let them get all the way down there with a Golden Tate, I want to say it was a catch and a face mask at the end, personal foul, late hit. Put them right in prime field goal range. Allowed them to eat up some clock, force you to use your timeouts, and allowed them to kick the game-winning field goal and leave you with no timeouts and the ball, which you still would have had a chance to do something with, which leads me to my final dislike for the Eagles in this game. Carson Wentz, interception to end the game. The first time the young fella has panicked in his NFL career. There was no need for this. Plenty of time on the clock. You don't have any timeouts, but all you need is a field goal. You didn't have to get it all back on one play. That wasn't there. That route was not there. And the guy you were throwing, it'd be one thing if you were throwing it up to DGB, you know, one-on-one with a corner that's probably giving him 5 or 6 inches. Hey, knock yourself out. You're throwing it to one of these smaller guys. I think it was Aguilar on the play, if I'm not mistaken. He's not going up and making a play for you. And that's why Darius Slay took that football away. I mean, that's just a bad decision by Carson Wentz. And he'll learn. These are all teaching tools. You hate to lose to get a lesson learned, but those things happen. First loss of the season for the Eagles. Young fella made a mistake, but he hasn't made many. You go to the Lions and their second half dislikes. Matthew Stafford fumbling at his own 16-yard line. Come on, bro. You can't fumble there. Come on, man. That's why you were 1-3 coming into this game. Dumbest. That's an unforced error. Nobody hit you. You can't drop the football there. You can't. It's not allowed. You gave up a field goal there for nothing. Luckily enough for you, it was only a field goal. The defense came in and stood up strong. Could have been 7 easily. Got to be better there. No second half points until the final offensive drive. Yikes. You scored 21 on 3 consecutive first half possessions, and then you went to sleep. Did you take NyQuil at halftime? Because you went to sleep offensively. What the hell happened? That's why, and I've said this before, and I'll continue to say this, that's 7-9 football. The inability to be consistent from half to half is the mark of an inconsistent, middle-of-the-road, 7-9, 8-8 football team. And I already told you you're going to be 7-9, 8-8. I already told you that. And 7-9, 8-8 teams, they beat teams like this. They find ways to win games they don't have any business winning because you know you have the talent to beat these types of teams, but you don't play the way that you need to consistently for 4 quarters to beat teams like this. You got lucky in this game that Ryan Matthews has a fumbling issue. You got lucky. You played well enough to win in the first half. You didn't in the second half. But because you played so well in the first half and spotted yourself such a big lead, the Eagles had to fight, scratch, and claw to come back, and they couldn't put out enough points. Give some credit to this defense that was brutally bad early in the season, but they've turned it around. To me, defensively, that's not the issue with this team. They're going to give this team a chance every week defensively, I believe. Offensively, you expect this team to be able to put up 27, and they don't. That's the problem. That's why they're not winning games consistently. You shouldn't go on the road and lose to the Bears 14-17 because this offense should be able to score 24 points. But the offense doesn't. This defense is going to give you a chance just about every week. I think this defense is not that bad. Problem is the offense isn't as good as we think. And because of that, the inconsistencies of this offense, you're going to lose games that you probably should win, and you're going to win some games that we probably think you should lose. And that's this Detroit Lions team, and that's why they're going to be 7-9, 8-8 at the end of the season. But they get a big win here. Did you see Jim Caldwell on that fumble recovery? That's a man fighting for his job. On that fumble recovery, he falls down pointing, our ball, our ball. That's a man that knows my job is on the line. I need this one, fellas. Recover this fumble and make sure your ass is in bounds. I need this one. That's a man fighting for his job. And he got it done. Lions get the win 24-23, go to 2-3 on the season. Look, you're not winning this division. You know this, okay? The Lions are not winning this division. Vikings, they're gone. You're not going to catch them. The Packers are going to follow them. You're not catching either one of those teams. But there's no reason you can't fight like hell to try to get your name on one of those wild card tickets. But you got to start being consistent. You've already lost games that you're not allowed to lose if you want to make the postseason. But there's so much season left, you can overcome that. But you got to be consistent. That I don't trust you in. That's why you're not going to make the postseason. But we'll see. I've been wrong before. I want to be wrong. Make me wrong. But you always prove me right. Let's see what we got here on the chat discussion board. Jane Doe says, talk about the Raiders in, I don't know what that says, who would have guessed. Oh, talk about the Raiders in first. Who would have guessed? Yeah? Raiders are right there with the Denver Broncos. DG Production says, when do you plan to do the Falcons vs. Broncos stream? I don't want to miss it. Thanks. It's going to be a while because it's a 4 o'clock game. I'm going to get through all the 1 o'clock games first. So it will be there eventually. Lauren Sewell says, I could wash you in picking these games. I don't even know what that means. Guys, try to make sense when you type so I can actually know what you're talking about. Even if you're trying to make fun of me, I would still like to know what you're talking about. Okay? I see a bunch of comments. I don't know if you guys are trying to address me, but if you're not using the hashtag, I'm not going to read your comment. Use the hashtag Louie Tee Live. In any event, and I saw some comments, and I'll just mention this. The officiating was horrible in this game. A lot of calls where they make a call, then they pick up the flag. Don't tell anybody they pick the flag up. They make it calls, and then they're, oh, never mind, we made a mistake. The officiating was questionable at best in this football game. That being said, Eagles and Lions both had opportunities to win. The Lions just found a way to get it done. The Eagles made too many mistakes late. That's the biggest difference in this game. You turn it over on the road, you're going to find a way to lose. The Eagles did that late in this ball game, and that cost them. So that's going to do it for me here. Let me check Twitter quickly to make sure I don't have anything on Twitter. Just to make sure that you guys aren't commenting on Twitter. So I'll check it quickly, and then we'll get out of here. All right. No tweets. So it's going to do it for me on lockdown coverage. Eagles and Lions. Lions get the win. Huge win for the Lions. 24-23 over the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles suffer their first loss of the season coming off of a bye week. I hate early week byes. I swear I do. And I think the Eagles were really done in by an early season bye here. They had all the momentum going into the bye week. And they didn't need a week off right now. They were hot, and they did get a week off, and I think it hurt them. But there's no excuses here. They should have won this football game. They just didn't get it done late in the ball game. That being said, if it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join me as I continue to break down anything and everything in the National Football League. Lions go to 2-3 on the season. Eagles drop to 3-1, and now they got a big showdown at FedEx Field versus the Washington Redskins in week number 5. Redskins winners of 3 straight. Eagles at 3-1. The winner of that football game is going to have 4 wins on the season. That's going to be a big matchup in the NFC East next week. We will see what happens then. I will see you a little bit later on. Got more games to break down, so I will be back with more breakdowns. See you in a bit.